The myth of Odysseus and the Cyclops is one of the most famous tales in Greek mythology, recounted by the ancient poet Homer in his epic poem, the Odyssey. This captivating story has captivated audiences for centuries, and it continues to be a popular subject of study and interpretation in the field of Greek mythology. The myth of Odysseus and the Cyclops begins with the hero Odysseus and his men becoming stranded on the island of the Cyclops, a race of one-eyed, giant creatures. The Cyclops, named Polyphemus, captures Odysseus and his men and begins to devour them one by one. To escape from the clutches of the Cyclops, Odysseus devises a clever plan. He tricks Polyphemus into thinking that his name is Nobody, and then blinds the Cyclops with a sharp stake while he is sleeping. When Polyphemus cries out for help from his fellow Cyclopes, he tells them that Nobody is attacking him, and they ignore his pleas for assistance. In the end, Odysseus and his men are able to escape from the island and continue on their journey. The story of Odysseus and the Cyclops is a tale of bravery, cunning, and survival. It is a classic example of the hero's journey, as Odysseus must overcome many obstacles and challenges in order to achieve his goal of returning home. The encounter with the Cyclops is just one of the many trials that Odysseus faces on his long and arduous journey. The myth of Odysseus and the Cyclops has been the subject of much debate among scholars and enthusiasts of Greek mythology. Some believe that the story is purely a work of fiction, while others argue that it has roots in historical events or cultural traditions. The truth is that we may never know for certain whether the events of the myth actually took place, but that does not diminish the power and significance of the story. One of the most compelling arguments in favor of the myth being based on actual events is the existence of archaeological evidence that supports the idea of ancient encounters with one-eyed creatures. For example, in the Mediterranean region, there have been discoveries of fossilized remains of prehistoric elephants, which have skulls with a large central cavity that could be mistaken for a single eye socket. It is possible that ancient people may have encountered these fossils and constructed myths and legends around them, leading to the creation of stories about one-eyed giants such as the Cyclops. Additionally, some scholars point to the fact that the story of Odysseus and the Cyclops contains elements that are consistent with other myths and legends from different cultures. For example, the motif of a hero overcoming a monstrous creature is a common theme in folklore and mythology around the world. It is possible that the story of Odysseus and the Cyclops has its origins in a broader, cross-cultural tradition of storytelling and mythology. On the other hand, there are those who argue that the myth of Odysseus and the Cyclops is purely a work of fiction, created by Homer and other ancient poets for the purpose of entertainment and moral instruction. They point to the fantastical elements of the story, such as the existence of one-eyed giants and the supernatural abilities of the gods, as evidence that the myth is not based on historical events. However, whether the myth of Odysseus and the Cyclops is based on real events or is purely a product of the imagination, there is no denying the enduring appeal of the story. It has been retold and reinterpreted countless times throughout history, and it continues to fascinate and inspire people of all ages.